Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Master Reviewer back again with another review, and today we are doing a review for the SKET Dance exclusive manga review. Yes, so I did finally finish reading the SKET Dance manga, and I just finished reading it like 10 minutes ago or something like that, and so yeah, this as similar to the I'm like flustered because of how great it was. Like, I'll just start off by saying that it was actually amazing. I don't actually need the character names because it's not helpful. I can't really see the manga exclusive characters on Anime Planet, but let me just say that this manga was really just amazing, incredibly, like, especially towards the end. I'll say this, like, the only I have like two issues with the manga, but like that's it. One of the issues, and then I'll speak about the other issue later, but the one of the issues is that like there is some like filler, like there's it's a slice of life manga, and there is a lot of there's like some chapters that are just not as interesting as others, but overall it is still like really good, especially the ending. The end, like the manga exclusive stuff, is definitely it focuses on like the development of the characters and like the progressions of like where they're going in life and stuff. And it's like you find out Himiko, she decides that she's going to become a teacher. You have the SKET Dance itself, like they get successors, the Pocket Dance, so I think that they are great additions. All the new characters in the anime exclusive stuff I thought were great. I'm not really going to go through all of them because I don't have a list in front of me, and so it is going to be difficult to remember. But yeah, all the new characters I think were great. Like from what I remember, let's see what else happens. Shuma ends up marrying Rumi, which I thought was very sweet and nice. The big thing which happens towards it, I think the entire like the final volume of the manga is like actually incredible. Like the whole final arc of the last dance arc with the SKET Dance, but not the SKET Dance, but basically all of class, I think it was 3C, they have to put on a cultural festival that is able to impress the new head of the board of education or whatever, in order so that he doesn't like militarize the school basically. And I thought that entire arc was just great. Loved it. That ending, the finale I'm like winded because of how like I don't know, just all the thoughts are like rushing through my mind because I read a lot of it like today. Like I think I read the final 30 chapters. I read all of it. Like I pulled another all-nighter and I read all of it. But yeah, so the final arc was great, where the ending of like finding out that Yuko, I think his name was Yuki, something like that. He was actually a girl, but like he has like a gender dysphoria, and so he's actually like he portrays himself as a boy, I thought. And then the message of like them basically saying like, you're not going to get bullied here. This is a place of like acceptance and like a place where we help people, and it like the whole message about like individuality and stuff I thought was just really great, wonderful. And then it leads into the actual like the final 3 chapters of the manga, which I think are like some of the best of the entire manga, of the actual conclusion with everyone graduating basically. And then finally Switch, after so long, Switch finally closes the laptop and he ends up talking. And so it is just like honestly, that the panel where he says to Himiko and Basan, when he says he's proud of them, I thought that was like genuinely one of the best manga panels that I've seen. I think that it was just like, it was so it tugged at the heartstrings, honestly. It was just really incredible. Like honestly, like a 9.5 I would say. Like that I'm not giving like scores for anything for the manga exclusive reviews, but that panel alone is like a 9.5 I would give it. So yeah, I really enjoyed what they did with Switch. Every character, to be honest. Like one of the critiques I would say maybe with like Orin, for example, like Orin's ending, it was good, but it did very heavily focus on like Tamaki and Haruhi, and it's like you had a bit less stuff that you had with Kyoya and Honey and Mori, as well as like the twins to an extent. But it was very focused on Haruhi and Tamaki, which was fine because they are like my favorite characters from the manga. However, in SKET Dance is the manga ending, it's like they focus on each individual character. They give time devoted. Like you have a chapter with Shinzo and Captain, the whatever her name, I should have just kept the names open. I'm just gonna actually pull up the names. Right, I got the names open. I wasn't going to use the names because I thought that I would just like, it wouldn't help me see the manga exclusive characters because it doesn't show like the actual pictures for the manga. Like I think it has their names listed, but there's not really pictures for the manga exclusive characters. But yeah, the ending for like Shinzo, Captain, Kiri, and Usui, I think her name was. Again, I'm not good with names, so Usui, I think her name was. Why am I not finding her name here? Is she a minor character? Give me a second here. All right, so I pulled up the characters, the anime list of the characters rather than the manga list. because just for convenience sake, and it'll just less characters to go through. So the ending with Kiri Usami I thought was great. The whole successor for Basan and what's his name? Basan's brother. Once again, come on, these are main characters. I should remember their names, but I still have difficulty with that. Tetsubaki, yeah, I thought that was great. What else? Even not just like the ending stuff. Like there's a lot of really good manga exclusive stuff. I should also mention the Okinawa arc. I thought was great. One of the all the really story focused arcs. I thought they did a fantastic job with all of them. The Switch On arc, just fantastic. Really thought it was really good. All of the emotional moments between the characters, I thought just very strong and impactful. And yeah, once again, the actual final graduation ceremony where it switched to actually give the final speech, like basically saying how he was like a shut-in and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm not even going to try to rephrase it because I won't do it justice. But the speech, it was actually just incredible. Like honestly, it was just, I don't have the words for it. Like I'm struggling to come up with the words because it was just so great. And yeah, finally, the final chapter basically of everyone like kind of disbanding, everyone going off on their own paths and stuff. I will say this is where I get into my one. It's criticism. It's something that I personally like didn't like as much because it does end where it's like you do get throughout the manga you do kind of have like especially towards the end, Himiko kind of like realizes her feelings for Basan, and they even kind of like show like Saya Agata, that was her name, right, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Saya Agata, she still has a crush on Basan, but then she kind of goes with Basan, Himiko, and Switch. They all go to a New Year's fair, something like that, and then she kind of sees that Basan and Himiko, they are like really compatible with each other and stuff. So it's like they're pretty much hinting that it's like, okay, they are that they're like the best pair for each other, kind of. And then at the end, you do have Himiko, like in the final chapter, Himiko does express her feelings for Basan, but then Basan, like being the way he is, he kind of he doesn't really understand that she's confessing his love to him. He kind of just views it as like a love, as in like you know how friends love each other kind of thing, but not in like a romantic sense. So at the end, it does kind of conclude where it's like Himiko just basically says, I'm not going to wait around forever, whatever. But then she still like says like good luck to him and stuff. And it's like it's not bad, but it is definitely just. I did look up after. I was like, okay, is there like some continuation of this where it's like they do end up like revealing just something that happens in the future with them? And it did say like, okay, according to like some official sources, or like I think apparently the creator of SKET Dance apparently did another anime / manga called Witch Watch, and I think in that one there's like a crossover episode where it does show that Himiko and Basan did end up getting up together. So my only criticism is if it is the case that they would have ended. First of all, I want them to end up together because I like the ship. I think that they are a good ship, and but specifically if like you are going to have them end up together in like if the creators are confirmed that they're going to end up together, I'd rather just like have some confirmation scene of that in the actual manga. But even so, like it doesn't really like ruin by. I mean, no, it doesn't ruin. It doesn't ruin. Let me get that straight. Like it does not bring down the actual ending of the manga. I think the ending was just really strong with Basan even like deciding finally that he is going to Basan like throughout kind of the final chapters of the manga. He's like decide. Everyone else kind of has an idea of what they're going to do in the future. Basan has to decide for himself, and then he ends up deciding to like go abroad to meet this guy Ryan that he met in like one chapter. He met this guy Ryan, and so he ends up traveling the world with him, helping people and stuff. So I thought that it felt like a suiting fit for his character, I would say. So yeah, and then you have I think Usui Switch. He ends up I think it's implied that he got with Momoka. So yeah, they did a really good job of like actually showing all the characters and like where they ended up in the final, like where they are, or like no characters were forgotten, which I really do appreciate. So yeah, I don't know, is there anything else really for me to mention? No, I think I pretty much praised it as much as I could probably continue praising it, but I just don't know what else to say at this point. So yeah, those were pretty much my thoughts about the manga exclusive stuff for SKET Dance. Really, honestly, a great manga. I think out of all of the endings, I think honestly this was probably my favorite one so far from the manga exclusive stuff. I liked Oren's ending as well, but Oren's was like kind of confusing because it's like there were some bonus chapters afterwards, and so it's like it was a bit not straightforward, which was the actual concluding chapter of the manga and stuff. Even so, it was still like very good. The whole ending of Oren, where I guess spoilers for people that don't want to get spoiled, where the whole not SKET Dance, the whole host club ends up going with Harvey to Boston. I thought that was a good ending for Oren, but this one just feels like a lot more just impactful and emotional, it feels like, compared to Oren, so I definitely think that this was the better ending probably. And yeah, this was honestly, I think that what have I reviewed so far? I did like Interviews with Monster Girls. I like this ending more than Interviews with Monster Girls, more than Dusk Maiden, probably even more than Lost in the Cloud, I would say. So this, yeah, out of all the manga reviews I've done until this point, which is not that many, this is probably so far my favorite ending, just because of like just how emotionally powerful it was, and just like the messages that it had, and overall just like it was just really, execution was like wonderful, I would say. So but yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, manga, web series, anything that you want me to review, leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. With that said, that is pretty much all there is to it, so let's leave it at that.